We're always hearing about averages this and averages that, but what if I told you that the average doesn't always tell the whole story? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on a super simple tool that helps us find the real middle. Right, so we see it everywhere. The average price, the average salary. In statistics, it's called the mean. But here's the thing, sometimes the average can be, well, a little misleading. Okay, let's look at an example. Picture a small company. You've got 5 employees. 4 of them make pretty similar salaries, but then you've got one person making a ton of money. So what would you say is the typical salary there? Well, if you do the math, you add up all those salaries and divide by 5, you get an average of over $85,000. But hang on, does that number really feel right to you? 4 out of the 5 people make way less than that. That one huge salary is throwing the whole picture out of whack. And that's the problem with the average. So, this is where our hero, the median, steps in. See, the median isn't so easily fooled by those really big or really small numbers. It's here to give us a much more honest look at what's going on. So what is the median exactly? It's actually incredibly simple. It's just the middle number in a list of data. But, and this is the important part, only after you've lined all the numbers up in order. That's it. Here's a way to think about it. Imagine all your data is a big highway. The median is literally the center stripe painted right down the middle. It doesn't care if there's a Ferrari zooming way out in front or a slowpoke truck lagging behind. That stripe stays put, right in the center, showing you the true middle of the road. Okay, so you're probably wondering, how do I actually find this thing? Well, it's a super simple 2-step guide. Let's break it down. It's really just 2 steps. First, you line them up. Get all your numbers in order, from smallest to biggest. Second, you just find the center. Pick the one that's sitting smack dab in the middle. Let's try it out. Let's start with an easy one. Here we've got a set of 9 numbers. Since 9 is an odd number, we know for a fact there's going to be one single number right in the middle. So, first step, we put them all in order. And once we do that, bam, the middle number just pops right out. You can see it, 18. There are 4 numbers on the left, 4 numbers on the right. That makes 18 our median. Simple as that. But what happens if you have an even number of values, like in this list of 14 salaries? Well, if you try to find the middle, there isn't just one number. We actually have 2 of them sitting in the center, 19,000 and 20,000. So what do? No worries, it's easy. We just find the average of those 2 middle numbers. We add them together, divide by 2, and that gives us our median, 19,500. Okay, now for the really cool part. Let's go back to that company with the super high CEO salary and see the median's real superpower in action. This is why it's so important. Just look at the difference here. The average, or mean, was over $85,000, right? Totally skewed by that one huge salary. But the median, we line up the salaries, and what's in the middle? 45,000. It completely ignores that crazy high number and gives us a salary that feels way more typical for most of the employees. So, here's the bottom line. Whenever you're looking at data that has some really extreme high or low numbers, we call those outliers, the median is your best friend. It's going to give you a much better feel for what's typical than the average ever could. Okay, I think you've got the hang of this. So let's do a little quick-fire quiz to make sure it all stuck. You ready? First up, true or false? The median is affected by those really big or really small numbers. Think back to that CEO's salary. You got it. It's false. That's the whole point, right? That's its superpower. It's totally immune to those extreme scores. All right, next question. Let's do a little calculation. What's the median of this data set? Hey, these numbers might look a little familiar. And the answer is 18. Nice work. If you line them all up, 18 is sitting right there in the middle. Okay, one last question for you, and this one is a bit of a trick question, so be careful. Can you find the median for this data? The answer is you can't. And here's why. This is a really key point. The median only works for data you can actually put in order. You can't really say male is bigger or smaller than female, right? It's just a category. So you can't find a median for it. So, from now on, whenever you hear someone talk about an average house price or an average test score, pause for a second. Ask yourself, I wonder what the median would say. Now that you know it's secret, where else do you think the average might be hiding the real story? Thanks for digging into this with me.